What's good, everyone? Aggie Coach here. All right, guys, welcome to another video. And my offense for the Georgia Bulldogs is complete. I have finished tweaking them and I have finished painting them. And this is the offensive core right here that you guys are looking at. I'm really happy with how the Bulldogs are turning out. Very excited. They are looking good. A lot of work. I stayed up late last night finishing the offensive line and getting all of the tweaking done so these guys will be ready. And if I have to say so myself, I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. They look great. So I want to just kind of talk about the offense here and just go over them just to kind of hopefully make you guys excited about the Bulldogs big game they got coming up. I am getting ready to switch over and start painting the defense and hopefully get the defense finished in the next 3 days or so. Then next weekend, I'm going to be shooting the big game. The only thing left is for me to wire up the board. As you can see, I got the Bulldogs board here. I already got the field cover put down. It's not wired up yet, but I will do all of the electrical work over the next few days and get it wired up so it'll be ready to go. So, all right, guys, so let's talk about the Dogs. What are the Dogs going to be bringing to the Fat8 conference? The Dogs, well, one of the things I can tell you, they're definitely going to be bringing a very high-powered rushing attack. This Bulldogs team coming in with 4 running backs and an explosive passing attack. I had a chance to practice with them a little bit yesterday as I was kind of putting these guys together, and I built myself a practice squad. That's a pretty challenging practice squad too. I mean, it's not a cupcake practice squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a pushover. And I was really surprised. The Bulldogs wide receiving core is very dangerous. They get open. And I can tell you, man, just kind of looking at some of the guys, just going through the practice yesterday, and like a few of the guys stood out, which, I'm going to go over. I'm going to start with the quarterback, number 14, Anthony Davis. I'm going to start with him. I haven't done very much with Lonnie McPhee yet. That's number 10 right here. I haven't done very much with him yet. I'm going to play around with him a little bit today. Anthony Davis, though, I can tell you a little bit about him. Just an incredible quarterback. He's got a lot of speed. Defenses are going to have to try to contain him because he can take off and run. This quarterback comes from Laurinburg, North Carolina. He comes from Scotland High School, and he is incredible. Very fast. So definitely containing him, keeping him in the box, not letting him run all over the place. That's going to be important for the Rattlers to try to contain him, because he's definitely going to be a threat with his legs on the ground. The other thing that I noticed that was huge for this team was Caden Dorsey McQueen, number 4, at the slot position, and Corey Monroe, number 3, the other wide receiver, at the slot position on the opposite side of the field. Those two tend to get open. They're the fastest 2 players on the team, and they were scoring touchdowns left and right yesterday when I was practicing with them, and the defense was just unable to contain them because of their speed. So that's going to be very interesting. There was also one of the possession receivers, which I talked about, I think, sometime before, Tommy Bennett. That's number 80. He's coming in at 5.5 grams, and I'm telling you, man, he's such a big target. He was open a lot too, catching balls. So they seem to have a high-powered pass attack, which really was unexpected. I really didn't have that plan, but like I said, because of the Fat8 rule system, anything can happen. And it turns out that the Bulldogs wide receiving core is dangerous. So that's going to be really interesting. Actually, the wide receivers are better than the running backs, which really surprised me also. Now, from what I'm seeing, and I'm just going from just preliminary testing right now. I still got a lot more testing to do, but from what I'm seeing, In the backfield, really interesting, number 20, Terrence McCoy. Remember I told you guys before that I usually like to try to bring him in to throw him the ball, to throw screen passes and swing passes and have him run wheel routes and stuff like that and try to catch the ball in the flat so he can use his speed. Yesterday, he was breaking 25, 30-yard runs out the backfield, which really surprised me. And I mean, he was hitting the 2-hole, hitting the 3-hole, hitting the 5-hole. One time hit the 1-hole and bust that thing through the second level, bust that thing for 20 yards. Like, I didn't expect that. That's another thing that was just unexpected. I expected him to be more of a scat back and not so much of a power back. And he's running up the middle, busting big yards. The individual who I had selected right now as the starter, I really was expecting to be John Wesley to be the starter just because of his speed. But it turns out that right now, from what I am seeing, just from my testing, I don't see him starting. Just from the testing last night, he would hit the hole and he would get tied up in the traffic, and he was averaging 2-3 yards a carry. Whereas Terrence McCray was averaging between 12 and 16 yards a carry just every time he was busting big runs. That was really a surprise. Now, the other thing that's going to be a big shocker to everybody is this tight end core right here. These guys right here. These guys right here. These 3 tight ends right here. These 3 tight ends in this system that the Bulldogs are running is unconventional. Yes, they're unconventional. These 3 tight ends are in a slot. They're not on the line of scrimmage. That right there is what is going to make this one-back offense that the Bulldogs are running. That's what's going to make this one-back offense unique. Because their tight end is in the slot off the hip of the tackle, and he is able to run flag routes. He's able to run outs. He's able to run flood routes across the middle, run the skinny post, and they're getting open underneath the linebackers, and they're making big plays. That right there is going to be really unique. Like, defenses, the thing about this Bulldogs offense that I'm starting to discover as I'm playing and trying to get myself familiar with this team, the thing that I'm starting to discover about this Bulldogs offense is completely how versatile it is. The offense has weapons everywhere. They have weapons everywhere. They can pretty much do everything. And this is what's really surprised me about this team. And I'm telling you guys, like, you come up with a design, right? Like I have an idea in my head. I come up with a design and I'm like, okay, I know how I want the Bulldogs team to play. And in my head, I'm thinking, all right, this is primarily gonna be a 60% run team, 40% pass team. And it didn't turn out that way. Like, as I started working with the team and developing the team and trying to get familiar with the new offensive style that this team is bringing, they're going to be doing a lot of audibles. They're going to be running a lot of motion. They're going to be changing things up on the defense. And this team has weapons at every position. Their offensive line is huge and it is strong. And that's one of the big things. The offensive line, let me just point this out. The center is 6.5 grams. The right guard is 6.9 grams. The left guard is 6.7 grams. The right tackle is 6.1 grams. The left tackle is 6.4 grams. Like, this is a big offensive line and they are strong. Now, of course, that weight doesn't mean anything when you're playing against. It depends on what the team is doing. I mean, it's not straight ahead push. It depends on what you're trying to do. But in terms of running the ball, defenses are going to have to fill in the box. Like, they're gonna have to cover those gaps because these running backs are dangerous. And the wide receivers this is like what really is shocking me about this Bulldogs team. They have 5 wide receivers, and all of them are good. all of them are good. Like, all of them are dangerous. So it's crazy. Like, it doesn't matter what wide receiver is in the game. Like, if they catch the ball, if they catch a pass, and the defense is out of position, it's 6. Like, they are so fast. And you know what? And I'm not gambling here either. I'm going to say this, though, before I close, because I'm getting ready to close. I'm really excited about this team. I'm going to say this. This wide receiver core on this Bulldogs team is the fastest wide receiver core in the conference right now. They're the fastest wide receivers, pound for pound, in the whole conference right now. Like, combined, they're the fastest. And it's crazy. And I did not intend for that to happen either. Like I said, it just happens. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm tweaking the bases, but, like, I'm just kind of going with what the model is giving me based on how that model is posed. I'm just kind of trying to get the best out of it. I'm not weighing it against other teams. And then until I put them on the board and start testing them and see how they do, I don't really know. But just judging based on what I saw last night, there was times when I'm running quick slants across the middle. Hit a quick slant. I'm talking about like a 3 to 4 yard, 5 yard slant. Hit a quick slant. The play side linebacker, the safety, and the play side cornerback are not fast enough to stop that guy from breaking into the open and taking it to the house. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. So, the Rattlers got their hands full with this team. This team can gas you from every direction. So I'm gonna stop it here. I'm just really excited about this team, and so I hope you guys. I'll run a few plays with them in another video so you guys can get a chance to see how they look. Don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.